Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. It's been a while since I've seen you guys, but we are back with a Division D East match, and tonight I have with me Mystic is going to be on the co-cast with us, and this is, of course, kind of a swap-a-roo of the sister teams here, or the friends. We had you on earlier, and now we've got the sister team here for you to co-cast. You ready for this match?
I'm ready. I'm looking forward to this. I'm ready to see how they do.
All right, well, let's quickly go over the maps. Once again, Weenus providing us with this awesome map tool. We had Noodle Fiasco banning out the Sky Temple, 2Calculated2Throw banning out Cursed Hollow, and then the first map pick by Noodle Fiasco is going to be Towers of Doom. So an excellent map for us to start out the series. A lot of fun. Let's let our teams know we are ready to go. And we'll get on into draft number 1 here very soon. So what are you looking forward to in this matchup? Anything in particular? I know you might have a little bit of inside info for us on at least one of these teams.
I'm curious to see if they go with their comfort picks here. I know Yergz is a big Kael'thas player, like a literal Kael'thas player. Galdrace likes his Anna. Fear kind of flexes. Reptilius seems to be their tank or offlaner, and I don't know anything about August, so.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Early in the season, we don't have a lot of information on a lot of these teams. Even if we had information from previous seasons, that was like 3 or 4 months ago at the very least. So everything's changed since then anyway. But we will see the initial ban out here to Rhonda. Very strong in this map with her ability to poke and deny on these altar turn-ins.
So the turn the ban right out the gate here. Prevents a lot of lockdown constantly being built. There's Kael'thas right out. Bye-bye.
Yeah, especially at some of the lower ranks of the game. Kael'thas, very difficult to play against. He punishes positioning better than most heroes with the bomb spread. So no surprise to see him prioritized as a ban out here. Thank you very much for the host, by the way, Mystic. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So we're gonna see Brightwing banned out here. So big healer priority on 2Calculated2Throw. I guess they wanna have their pick of the litter here. You almost wonder if it's gonna be a first pick support coming out after all of those bans, but Brightwing, of course, also really good with a global on this map. Gives you a little bit of a rotational advantage.
Definitely. I'm surprised Dahaka has made it through this far. Falstad's still up. Both of them pretty strong to me on this map. I love Dahaka on this map. I get told it's not a good idea, but I make it work.
You know, I think a global on this map is always a good thing, especially one with pretty good wave clear. It covers your solo, but we will see the Li Ming banned out by Noodle Fiasco, so I don't know, maybe they just hate mages? Not really sure, but the Anna is going to be the first pick, so there you go. There's your healer chokehold, and I don't know, Noodle Fiasco is just kind of leaning into it here as they get Azmodan and Dahaka to start off the match.
Yeah. I can see where they went to hotslog.com, looked up Yerg, and went, oh, he plays Kael'thas and Li Ming and, like, nobody else. Let's just get rid of those two.
Well, we do see Jaina coming out here for Yerg, so still going to manage to get a mage through. There's enough in the game now where you can't just completely deny them. But the interesting thing here is Azmodan. Some pretty big changes in the patch today, but do you think that's going to really affect his power all that much?
It depends on how well he does stacking, and depends on which method he opts for. This is a very small, condensed map. I think you go with the hero stacking, and with Garrosh in them, they're going to be kind of clumped up trying to jump on anybody Garrosh count and grabs. So, Azmodan, if he stacks early enough, he'll be a threat, but with the changes, I'm curious to see how much of a difference it makes.
Yeah, so Diablo going to be the ban out here, kind of applying that tank chokehold. They could have taken another healer off the board, but I can't really think of one. Maybe Stukov. But other than that, not really a lot of super powerful supports out left. So they're just going to go ahead and take out the Diablo. 2 picks coming up here for Noodle Fiasco. Sylvanas and Malfurion. Very interesting. Heavy amounts of siege and wave clear now for Noodle Fiasco. The team fighting potential's not super high in their comp so far, I don't think, but the reworked Sylvanas is pretty fun to play, if nothing else.
Reworked Sylvanas, if you go her dagger focus build, can pump out as much damage as any of the other DPS, and it just absolutely shreds with each tick of the damage. But it's very...
Anytime you're ready.
I've had difficulty playing it, but I don't really play Sylvanas, so you know.
Great destiny.
Right, so we do see Raynor and Varian coming out here as well to finish off the comp. Could this be a double taunt, or do you think we're going to get to see one of the damage builds here?
Twin Blades.
We've seen a lot of Wind Blades lately. It's gotten a little bit stronger. This is, of course, going to be a nano boost due to Eye of Horus being banned out, so we'll probably see that on the Jaina. Just a ton of damage coming out from 2Calculated2Throw. If they can get the isolations here, it's going to be a rough time for Noodle Fiasco. No matter who they get, even Johanna may not be able to stand up to this much damage.
Yeah, their big thing is going to be getting those picks. If they have trouble getting those picks, it could be a very long match for 2Calculated with that Asmodean on the other side.
Yep.
And of course, you got to watch that Dahaka. You can throw whoever you want, but Dahaka is able to just zip right into the backline and cause chaos.
Yeah, the counter dive potential is there. You know, Sylvanas pretty mobile. Malfurion, of course, able to heal even from a distance now with the way his Q and Moonfire healing works. So not a bad one for those kind of mobile, forward-marching heroes. And Johanna is pretty good at zoning and getting in on a team, if not anything else in terms of her team fighting capability.
Yep, and she's just so indestructible for most of the fight.
But I will say this much: it's definitely, I think it's almost like I feel like 2Calculated2Throw is on a clock. Like you said, it's going to be a very long match for them if they can't end it early, due to how well the side of Noodle Fiasco actually can stack and scale.
Yeah, Asmodean, you have to win early, probably before, I'd say, 16. You should be stacked by 13, but you want to be trying to win this by 16. And Towers is one of those maps that doesn't necessarily go very fast.
Right, it's definitely one of those maps where you can give quite a bit of the map objectives throughout the match. You know, if you've got 1 health left on your core when they get to level 20, they could still turn this thing around. But we are loading in here for game number 1, Towers of Doom. On the left, it is going to be Noodle Fiasco. Green Sheep going to be playing the Dahaka. Arena is going to be on the Malfurion. Lord Zoo on the Asmodean. Supreme Meep is going to be on the Sylvanas. And Gen Confusion going to be on Johanna.
Over on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, we've got Fear on the Raynor, Gouge Ice on the Ana, Reptilius going to be throwing people around with Garrosh, Yurg's throwing some ice on Jaina, and Varian for August Sun. We don't know what he's going to be doing.
He might be throwing some shattering hammers later in the game. I don't know. We'll see.
Possibly.
We're all throwing something.
I actually would like to see what is Smash Varian here against the Asmo and Joe.
Now, August Sun waiting down in the bush is going to go in on the Johanna. So we'll have to see. Wave clear advantage slightly in favor of 2Calculated2Throw, but Dahaka also in the top lane, getting the early rotation up there. Not electing to grab any extra essence in the mid first, but get a little bit of extra wave clear there before Varian arrives.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Ace in the Hole, the combo with Jaina here from Raynor and Jaina. And High King's Quest from the Variant, it's going to be win.
Yeah, pretty much automatic there. No surprise to see the Orb talent coming out for Jaina. We'll be looking to get the rotate on, get as many of these globes as possible. And they're doing a good job of rotating right now. We do see them arrive just in time to get that globe in the mid. And Asmodean starting to stack 24 to start out the game. Not too bad, but maybe missing the mark a little bit there on that globe. Not quite waiting for the Condemned to come in.
Yeah, and I take note, Sylvanas does have Unfurling Shadows. And if she's able to start stacking that up, the damage is going to spin quickly in her favor. But she's got to play very, very risky to stack that. And the particular build that's common for it is a very aggressive Sogat Bondus build.
Yeah, a lot of times you end up taking the 7 talent, which will help your wave stack them directly to 3. But then, of course, you don't have your wave for mobility and escape. So we'll have to see how Supreme Meep wants to play this. Gingerly, I would expect. And again, Lord Zoo kind of prioritizing trying to get the orb onto the heroes rather than the waves. We do see Malfurion tossed in, though. Great toss
Very nice.
by Reptilius. That's exactly what you want to see out of this kind of pick comp. First blood going over to 2Calculated2Throw.
We got Windblade in the top lane.
And there we go. Gonna give him a lot of extra sustain, a lot of extra single target damage. As we do see the triple alter phase spawning here. We'll have to see how the teams want to rotate for this.
Yeah, I think Smash would have been good for burning down Joe and Asmodee, but if he's going to be stuck in that solo lane most of the game, Twin Blades is the way to go against Dahaka.
Agreed for sure. I think that's definitely the solo lane build. I think either one, like you said, either one's viable, but we've been seeing a lot of Windblade, so not surprised to see that here. Wait a minute.
The Raven Lord demands it.
Anyway, Supreme Meep and August Sun both capping here. Meanwhile, in the bottom, we do have the Burrow coming out here. We're going to see the toss away, trying to zone, but Jaina gets hit by the tongue, dragged in, and Malfurion's actually going to get the kill there. That's going to be first kill of the game for Noodle Fiasco. The rotation is on, but this is going to be a 4v5 in favor of Noodle Fiasco. Again, great drag in on the Garrosh, and that armor is not going to be enough to keep him up. Even with Anna shooting him with the heals, Raynor is going to end up going down, and Noodle Fiasco, after a little bit of a rough start, coming out and winning big on the first map objective of the game. 3-1 now in the kill count.
Yeah, 2Calculated really caught in that choke point there with the bush against the Dahaka, Asmodee, and Malfurion Joe combo. There's just so much to keep them in that spot. They didn't have much of a chance to get on. As soon as Jaina went down, they pretty much lost all damage and build anything that they could do because Jimmy's built purely to focus on hitting the slow here.
Right, the only other slow they really have is Garrosh's Groundbreaker to try and help him out with that. Level 7, Raynor will get a little bit more of the self-slow potential should he take that talent, which I assume he will, but we'll have to see as it progresses because, yeah, that Jaina-Raynor combo, like you said, is definitely hinging on the Jaina being around.
That's Sylvan, Dahaka pushing top lane with the Sapphirs. August is just kind of trying to slow it down as best as he can. And they're already going to lose both those top towers, which is just going to put a little more pressure up there. And allow the rest of the team to kind of whittle away more at the bottom lane.
Oh man, Malfurion's got to be careful here. The root comes out to try to zone, but Garrosh does make it to him. The toss over, and he's just barely going to get taken down. I thought for a second there he might make it away, but Yerg does come in with that last fadeaway Frostbolt at the buzzer. It takes him out.
Yeah, very nicely done, but you saw Sylvanas' dagger damage on Garrosh there. Just his health just whittling away so fast. It completely bypasses any of that armor that Garrosh is going to have.
Yeah, and that Shadow Dagger will get stronger and stronger as the game goes along. Much like much of the comp here with the Asmodee stacking. They're just going to scale really hard. The fact that they have a lead to start this game off is a little concerning for 2Calculated2Throw.
Definitely. Dahaka's already made it down here. It looks like Varian came down early as well with the double one shrine. There we go.
There we go. 5v5 fight. The toss in to start here. August Sun deep in enemy territory. Gonna have to back up and get a little heals. The drag onto Garrosh. He does have the armor. He's getting the support there from Anna. But Johanna ends up going down in exchange for the Varian. Garrosh is going to fall as well. And it looks like Noodle Fiasco might be coming out with the better of these, but they do still have their damage combo with the heals. So they're still poking away at this.
Yeah, Gaudre doing a really good job keeping his DPS up here.
And they still have the poke potential. Varian now coming back along with the Johanna on the other side. Garrosh close in tow. So if they can't cap this right here, I actually think 2Calculated2Throw is going to end up getting this over the long haul as the 3 dead members now come back in. We'll actually see level 10s coming out here for Noodle. I take it back. 10s are here And 2 Calculated to Throw is peacing on out.
Interesting choice from Asmodan, going with Demonic Invasion. Don't see that one as often as Blackpool for sure, but it can definitely add some burst potential to their comp.
I mean, I think he just wanted to play the music. You know, he's got the dunk skin. You know,
Yeah.
Charge.
Oh, big throw, very nicely. Very nice throw. I can speak, I promise.
Oh man, Gen Confusion doing everything he can to try and peel there. The shield was almost enough to get him out, but now gotta be careful as Malfurion gets in really close. Johanna doing a nice job of eating that toss, but now the question is, can he get out? Answer is no. And Varian going in deep and is gonna end up getting the Sylvanas. And wow, the members of 2 Calculated to Throw, they get 10, and now they're the ones that are on fire.
We've got Rainer's Raider, Nano Boost, which is the only option tonight. Taunt, Ring of Frost, and Shield Wall. So Varian's just going to be looking to do what he's been doing all the time, just dive that back line. He's been targeting Malfurion most of the night.
Yeah, finds him again there, and suddenly 2 Calculated to Throw, feeling the need to start being aggressive here as they, you know, the scaling is going to be a factor. They can't afford to stay behind for too long here. Demonic Invasion will come out here in the bot lane. He's going to deal a little bit of damage. But for right now, members of 2 Calculated to Throw looking pretty good, looking pretty healthy as they rotate up towards this double altar phase.
Definitely. Looking at the stats, we've got Asmodan just carrying both siege and damage on the side of Noodle Fiasco, and Jimmy doing it on the other side there.
And we'll see once again, they find Sylvanas a little out of position. The taunt comes down from Garrosh. The dig comes in just in time to dodge a lot of the damage, but he'll come back up into death. August Sun just going deep in on the back line. He's going to take out Sylvanas. Gen Confusion does go down. The Protected is there to be able to keep him alive in the kill zone. And just like that, it's going to be 2 altars going over to the side of 2 Calculated to Throw. But before they cap that, well, actually, they capped both already. Now they're going to go after the boss.
I like this play. The bottom shrine, or the bottom fort, getting hit by the sappers. It's at half health already. This gets you a few extra shots on the core here early on, and then you can rotate down and continue doing what you're doing in that bottom lane.
Yeah, after a very strong early game here from Noodle Fiasco, 2 Calculated to Throw definitely finding their stride post level 10. And now they've got a window here where if they can get far enough ahead in the structure game and on the core count, they might be able to win this before Asmodan can get fully stacked and they really hit a lot of their power spikes near the end. But we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting. I think either team could still definitely pull this off.
Definitely. I do like the Rainer's Raider kick here from Jimmy. He can just stick it on Malfurion or Sylvanas or somebody in the back, and it does a decent chunk of damage.
Yeah, also really easy follow-up to that Garrosh throw. They're looking to isolate targets and get easy damage. You're not going to find much easier damage than with little Jimmy in the back there.
Then down it goes. Meanwhile, on the top one, we've got August Sun dancing in and out of bushes as Green Sheep and Supreme Meek are trying to steal this camp away.
Yeah, not much he's going to be able to do here 2v1. But meanwhile, the 3v4 that's left in the bottom lane is getting a lot of extra damage out. So we'll have to see if they're able to make something out of this. As we do see the double altar spawning here.
And very opting for field of rush at 7. He didn't take the slow. And giddy up. I like that one for rotating against this Dahaka. Or Jimmy.
Huge root coming down from Malfurion here. Fear is stuck kind of out of position. We'll be able to back out of it though. Dahaka does come down. And we're going to end up seeing a little bit of a duel in the top there as well. But taunted and blown up is Johanna. Not quite able to pop a lot of her self-sustain abilities while she's taunted like that. Meanwhile, it looks like both are going to come down here without getting that mid-altar. Huge wailing arrow comes in. Dahaka is going to end up falling on the other side, though. And just like that, 2 Calculated to Throw, marching back through, trying to see if they can find anything else. August Sun getting Supreme Meat low. We'll be able to finish him off with help from Jimmy. It's going to be another double cap for 2 Calculated to Throw.
Unfortunately, it's only going to be 6 shots. They lost their top fort during the fight. I would have liked to see them pressure in and take this bottom one before capturing the second shrine. They have the time. But they're just going to have to take it and grab the sappers instead.
Yeah, they're going to start getting these camps to send Varian back out to soak the other lanes and try and help them keep what little level lead they do have here. But once again, you know, Noodle Fiasco's hanging around here. They're going to be able to get level 16 pretty soon here. They're a little bit closer. Only 17 more needed for this globe quest. Make it 7 now.
Yep, there goes the demons. Sylvana's sitting at 55 stacks of Affirming Shadow. That's a little low by the 13-minute mark. But she's kind of been getting chased out of every fight really quick.
Yeah, August doing a great job focusing her down, not enabling. The drag does come down onto Fear, but a nice knockback there with the Q.
Varian trying to clean up top lane. We're going to have a 3 shrine or 3 altar objective coming up here.
Yeah, and level 16 right around the corner for Noodle Fiasco. They'll have it in time for this triple altar phase. We'll have to see what they can make out of it. Nice condemn into the root, though. And a huge ring combo coming in from Jaina. The nano boost out onto her, and she is blowing people up. But again, 2Calculated2Throw winning a huge team fight. And it could not have been timed any better, Mystic.
No, that was great timing on that. They need to push this bottom fort before they take that middle one. Let Varian deal with the top. Give the left one up. Take the right one. Take this bottom fort. Get those extra shots in.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to prioritize trying to cap all 3 at this point rather than trying to get structure advantage. I agree with you. That's where you go with it. But we'll get 1 interrupt from the shield there. That is going to be it, as all 3 of them are going to get capped. And just like that, it's going to be 9 left on the core for the members of Noodle Fiasco. But that's enough to come back in this game later on.
Definitely. There's 10 seconds left on the boss as well. And it looks like Noodle thinks they might be there. But he's not quite up yet, so they're going up here to this top camp.
Yeah, level 16 and a lot of heroics down here as they do look to engage. August getting caught out a little bit. Does pop the protect, but the drag actually going out onto Malfurion. So a little bit of a split focus here as the members of 2Calculated2Throw turn around. Another huge ring going to hit Malfurion. And just like that, it's a 3-0 exchange as you're just dancing on these boys right now.
Yeah, the Nano Boost Jaina is a scary thing. To me, by far the scariest mage to have Nano Boost on, hands down. Especially with the build he's got. He's got the Ice Lance, which reduces cooldown on his Frostbolt. Nano Boosted Jaina with the Frostbolt cooldown is 1 second with that talent.
Basically, machine gun build, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You could even take the longer length at one to make it even more scary, but we'll take that extra percentage damage and mana regen any day of the week as well. And now you start to see the members of 2Calculated2Throw converting these bell towers as this next altar is spawning. Now all the heroics, save Asmodan's, are up for Noodle Fiasco. Still on the same talent tier. And even little Jimmy being down here for this next one. So if ever Noodle Fiasco is going to be able to get back in this game, this is the opportunity.
Nano is up. Ring is only 4 seconds away.
Shield whiffing a little bit there, so that's 1 heroic down.
Going to Hakatan immediately, and he's getting blown up.
What a play from Raptilius there. Isolating them so well, the ring comes out, and now it's just a matter of knocking over the dominoes for 2Calculated2Throw. We're going to go ahead and grab Johanna and then mercilessly going to walk away from the members of Noodle Fiasco here. They probably could have gotten more. We're going to focus on getting that down.
There goes August.
Yeah, just as I say that.
Look at that health starting to drop though. Sylvanas is at 69 stacks.
So we will see them attempting to push this in here. That would be enough for game if they can push it in.
That is it. 5 shots because they got that fort there.
That's right.
Game 1 going to 2Calculated2Throw. Turning the fights around after a rough start.
Yeah, very well played from them there. We mentioned that they were kind of on a clock, and they were able to finish it off in time here before Azmodan was able to get stacked.
Yeah, Azmodan got stacked a little later than he probably wanted to, and Sylvanas didn't quite get as far on those stacks on that W quest as she probably wanted. That quest, it takes about 110 or so to really start chunking people down, but you already saw the effects of that health dropping on Varian when he'd get hit by it, even at like 60 to 70 stacks. And where that really shines is you hit about 100 stacks of that, and then you spread it to the entire team, and their health just drops.
Yeah, and you started to get the feeling that at any time, Noodle Fiasco was going to start turning around those team fights, and even that last one over that bell tower in the mid, it was very close. If not for that well-timed flip and blow up there, that could have gone completely differently, even just at level 17 for them.
Yeah.
So just a little bit too late on getting their power spikes, and just a little short there for Noodle Fiasco.
Yeah, I think a little too much late game focus on that one, which is not always a bad idea for towers, but you've got to make the game last that long, and they just unfortunately weren't able to. They didn't have any real damage in team fights for most of the game. Malfurion just can't keep up with a nano boosted Jaina as far as healing people.
All right, folks, so we're going to take a quick break while we set up game number 2. We want to thank you all for coming out. Stay tuned as we'll bring you game number 2 in this Division East match in just a moment. All right, we are back for game number 2 here in the Division D East matchup. 2Calculated2Throw, rather, winning game number 1 there over Noodle Fiasco. They tripped me up. They did it. Let's quickly go over the updated Weenus map tool here. As we see, game number 2 will be on one of my favorite maps. I know it's not popular, but Battlefield of Eternity, going to be picked by 2Calculated2Throw. So, well, that's fair. You know, everybody has their likes and dislikes. But we do see, so Noodle Fiasco electing for first pick, first ban after that. And so we'll see if that helps him out in the draft here. What are you looking for on this map? Well, first of all, why don't you like Battlefield of Eternity? But then also, what do you look for on it?
We know how to play the map. We know what to do on this map. We never went on it.
Well, that's fair.
It is perma-banned for the calculated one.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's definitely a map where you see quite a lot of team fighting. So, you know, really, I think advantage goes to whichever team is a little bit more patient in the poke game, and, you know, who has the better team fight potential. Teams that synergize well together, I think, do pretty well here generally. But we'll see. Definitely a reason. You know, but we saw some pretty good coordination there from 2Calculated2Throw in game number 1. So I think this map might just kind of play into their strengths.
Definitely. I look for both teams to draft at least one Immortal Burner, and then they should focus on team fighting from there. You just want somebody to help whittle that thing down if you need to race. But the best thing to do is whittle it down and then win that team fight between phases and finish it off.
I'll have to see if Noodle Fiasco goes with the same ban strategy they did in game number 1 of just trying to ban out Yarn's favorite heroes. Didn't seem to work out too well for them the first time, considering how much he owned on Jaina. But the Kael'thas goes down, so that's one of the two.
Yeah, I wonder where he learned all these Jaina tricks.
Gee, I wonder.
I don't know.
It's almost like there's a guy named Mystic might be helping him out with some of the magic users in the game or something.
It's funny because I absolutely despise playing Kael'thas, and he was never big on Jaina, so it's just kind of funny to see.
Yeah. Well, you know, Li Ming, not as popular now, but was once one of the most popular picks on here for her map burn. By the way, some follows coming in. Grievance, thank you very much for the follow. And earlier, Lord Zol slipped in there. Thank you very much for the follows, gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying the double header.
Show your respect, show the presence of a lord.
Yes, of course. Good old Zol, man. And there it is. The Jaina gonna be the ban out here.
Here comes Li Ming.
Yeah, maybe Li Ming first pick for Noodle Fiasco. I don't know. Tell me, what do you think of on this map in particular? Li Ming, Aether Walker into Seeker build now.
I could see it with the changes. If she can just sit back away and just teleport around and dance and just not take damage, Aether Walker, I can see it being very valuable on this map. Actually,
I could see them. I could see a team having to chase Li Ming around an Immortal and never being able to catch them. Stealing away the namesake from 2Calc. Oh my goodness, the Garrosh comes in here for game number 2.
They're calculated their tidbit. We never ran Garrosh last season.
This has got to be a Li Ming pick, right?
They stole the Johanna here. I'm thinking it's Li Ming.
Oh, Anna. All right. You're confident that he's going to have a hero even after this next ban phase. He's going to have somebody to play. I don't know Jurg, but from what you're telling me, you know.
Yeah, I actually would have liked to see the respect ban on the Anna with that Kael'thas. I think this one is Jaina's not. She's good for the team fights, but she's not necessarily super strong to me on this map because she has to get close, and if you fight her on the Immortal, it can be a little tough for her to do some stuff. There's Luna. There's your Immortal Burner right there.
Right. So you do see Noodle Fiasco. Not only that, but a good counter to Anna. A lot of times can struggle with the spread damage, does Anna. So Lunara gonna definitely be heading towards that. Though the nice thing is you still have the ability to get Nature's Culling. Actually, I'm not sure if that's the talent name, but at level 4 you get all the extra PvE damage, and then at level 7 you can still go with the spread damage from Splintered Spear.
Definitely. Nature's Clothing, I believe, is the correct talent there. And that is pretty much the go-to on this map. And that's kind of my go-to anytime I play Lunara anyways. Just having that extra wave clear and damage on all these maps with a bunch of immortals and, you know, protectors and all that. It makes a difference.
Oh, a shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat. Murda, I see you. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, Murda?
There's
Artanis.
So a lot of immortal burn here.
And it's still a very complimentive team here. Artanis swapped right into some Li Ming chaos.
Yeah, that one's maybe a little bit tough of a follow-up to hit, but I will say this much. You get somebody asleep with that sleep dart from Ana. Maybe put a little nano boost on the Li Ming, and you could end up with a reset Fiasco.
I like that. Here, Jimmy, kill the immortal.
Right, yeah. And especially at level 1, you know, a lot of people constantly talking about Rainer's ace in the hole, but what doesn't get talked about is Exterminator at level 1. Can be a very good burning tool. I'll have to see if that's the direction that Ariana?
The wait is over.
Arnia? Arinia. Got it.
I like the Cassia pickup here from 2C. Just kind of getting a little more. They got the double blinds here. Artana should be going with the AoE blind at 10. Cassia comboing with that. And it's actually a comp that Cassia could maybe go the Find build here. It'll tear through Lunara. Jimmy and... I mean, you got to pick somebody that Morales is just sitting there spraying the whole time. But
right, exactly. A little spread damage maybe with that powered up Fend. But either way, it'll look like an interesting matchup here. And mostly, I think, based on who can execute better. If we see Garrosh once again, but on the other side this time, getting those good isolations, it's going to be difficult for 2Calculated to throw to really save anybody with the comp that they have.
If Confusion can get those throws and Imperius is patient and just hangs out, throw into the stun followed by Rainer and Luna just tearing through anybody's HP is going to be very deadly. And of course you got Morales who can just kind of look the other way and toss a grenade out and just keep the other guys from getting...
Yeah, a little displacement, a little zoning. We are loading in here for game number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Let's make sure we got the right overlay set up there. There we go. On the left, we're going to see a Noodle Fiasco. It is going to be Ariana going to be playing the Rainer. Gen Confusion on Garrosh. Supreme Meep going to be on the Lunara. Green Sheep on Morales. And we're going to see Lord Zoo playing the... oh man, what's his name? Help me out. Imperius. There we go.
Alright, we've got Fear on Cassia, Reptilius on Johanna, Jurgenderb on the Li Ming, August Sun on Artanis, and Gaudreis on Ana.
So to start off here, we got all 5 members of 2Calculated to Throw heading on down into the bot lane. Looks like August Sun is ready to rotate. They're maybe looking to see if they can catch anybody out. Nice big orb coming in there from Jurg to start this off. The toss does come in on the other side, but that's Johanna. She's going to be just fine.
Li Ming opting for Power Hungry, which I like that option here outside of the Aether conversation we had. You do have the long drawn-out team fights on the Immortals, but you do spend a lot of time in lane, and there's plenty of orbs to be picked up throughout the match.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed, but we'll see. Fear does get tossed in though, a ton of poison damage coming down. Green Sheep though on the other side with the fade away grenade to take out Li Ming. Little parting gift for you. Johanna falling as well, just like that first and second blood going over the Noodle Fiasco.
Yeah, this is kind of a similar start to last match. Noodle Fiasco starting out strong here, but the comp seems to complement each other a little bit better. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out here. Meanwhile, you got Artanis and Imperius in the top, both heroes who just refuse to die when fighting each other. So that'll be an interesting matchup to watch.
It's really a problem when the observer's got a cat attacking the mouse hand. That's never a good thing. Anyway, down in the bottom lane, we do see the camp grab by Noodle Fiasco, their prize for that 2-0 start in the kill count, as they'll be trying to shove this in. They do have really good siege damage to kind of coexist with how good their immortal burn is. Sleep comes down, but blinded immediately to interrupt that. And Green Sheep will be able to heal him up pretty easy here.
So take a look here. You've got Consuming Flame on Imperious. I think his brain is more his off-lane build, to be honest. But Morales going with Clear. Cassie going with Thunderstroke. And both of them like already pretty much halfway through their quests. 9 and 20 pretty much. Really early on in this game.
Yeah, Morales also on the other side with the grenade build, and we'll see Groundbreaker now up to 6. So everybody with some good progress on these quests so far. Good job, everybody.
The old Div D standing all the stacking quests meta.
No, they're all just hitting it really well, man. Give them some credit. We just see both teams rotating out to their camps here as the first set of Immortals are about to spawn.
24 for Cassian now, 10 for the medic. She needs 30, so she's not quite halfway.
So we do see the Immortals spawning in the top and bottom positions to start here.
Here's like trouble.
Noodle Fiasco. Totally with the isolation there. Full on the defense. And they're going to be able to get a 3rd kill to start this one off. And actually, Gen Confusion looking for Yurg. But nice job by Reptilius. Just kind of sitting on Garrosh. But unfortunately, it's going to just exchange 1 kill for the other at this point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, double camp stacked up here in the top lane. Holy cow, this is going to get a ton of value. Noodle Fiasco going to actually have to rotate to try and defend this a little bit.
Just barely missing the swap there.
Yeah, nice juke. August-san trying to interrupt her ability to siege this down a little bit. She does eventually get down the Shaman. Everything else will fall shortly after. Still some good damage on that top lane.
August-san in trouble. Getting popped around here. Trying to slide himself to frequently. Not getting much out of it. He is going to survive though. But Luna did take the Nature's Calling.
Now we just see the toss on the other side to safety here for August-san, at the very least. Fighting under the Immortal, gonna be rough for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. Kind of a gutsy call here for Noodle Fiasco. They go across the map. They're defending very well. They're looking to get picks here. Fear gets tossed in, but Gen Confusion getting incredibly low. That's gonna be the first kill. But unfortunately, Yurg, no mana to really utilize the reset mechanic.
No, and Fear's health was pretty much down to nothing there. Good shot by Gounder to top him.
So now we're going to see Lord Zol trying to stall here. Nice spear in for the stun. This is going to be incredibly close on the counter. 177 in favor of 2Calculated2Throw. The spear not quite enough. Ooh, swapping onto Gen Confusion. The Unstoppable is popped, and the Morales healing looks like it's going to be just enough to spike that grenade for the healing for the healing deny.
The demon moves for the gates
The
of
prolonged safeguard on Morales now. Anna going with the full grenade build. Cash is sitting at 35 of 40 stacks and 22 on Play to the Whale. I
really like
Play
this.
to the Whale against this team.
Yeah, I really like this call up in the top lane. They knew they weren't going to get very much from that Unshielded Immortal. Now they're going to find themselves a Lord Zol. Or are they? Yes, they barely get it with that one last Q there from Fear. They're going to find themselves a fort in the top lane, which I think is more than they ever would have been able to find with the 4-man defense in the bottom lane.
Definitely. And I like this immediate call here for the camp. Pick that up, let it do its thing, and push. They're doing the same thing in the bottom lane. They're going to see if they can't maybe counter push this bottom lane a little bit and get some chemical pressure there as well. But no, they're rotating right up. They know where the 2C is, and they're looking to maybe try to capitalize on that. They got to be careful on this rotation here. There's 5 members of Noodle Fiasco, all within pretty good range of each other.
Yeah, they're definitely sharking around, looking for that throw. Trying to find somebody out there. Actually going to go after Fear here. Gen Confusion a little bit passive on it, though. Thinking better of stepping into that tower range. And look at the turn here.
Little risky on his Cassia.
You see Yurt throwing out the combo from below there. Meanwhile, two-man going in after August Sun. He's going to be looking for the pick. Ultimately, he's going to be able to walk away, though. Artanis pretty tanky still at this point in the game.
Yeah, at least it's not old Artanis. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. All right, well, we'll see what's going on here as we come on back to the camera scene. Got to do a thing real fast. Okay, well, you know, Fatita. that could be the new meme.
I just realized I didn't install the new
yeah, the Aliobs
PC. Yeah, I just switched computers. I don't have it on there. But let's take a look at some stuff here. Let's look at these stats and everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're about to get level 10 for both of these teams pretty soon, but of course they couldn't get the level 10 before we go to no. That's
the Nabisco thing. What are they? Did we miss something early on? Something about a Cheez-It sponsorship.
I don't know, man, but they're making me very hungry. It's been a long day of casting, and I. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Anyway, Anna and Morales
Yeah.
pretty even on the healing. That's not really a surprise there. They're both pretty steady healers. No. Anna can do some bursts later in the game. Luna carrying on the siege and the hero damage, just barely over the Rainer on hero damage. Let's see. And on the other side, we've got Cassio running the siege and leaving, no surprise, running high on the damage there. Both the tanks are sporting the deaths on both sides here. Good job by the Morales and Luna and Jimmy to not get caught up in those resets.
Yeah, 4-2 on the kill count right now in favor of Noodle Fiasco. But dead even on the XP. You know, both teams right at level 9. And, yeah, just in general, nobody finding too much ground so far. A little bit of a structure advantage for 2Calculated2Throw after getting that first objective. But really, that's about it.
I'm liking the build out of Lunara here. She went Sentinel Wisp. There's a ton of vision, which is very important on this map. There's so many places to hide. And that just lets Garrosh get set up wherever he wants, pretty much, because they know where they're going to be. Nature's Cooling is pretty much the go-to here. And then Splintered Spear is a great pick against Anna.
Yeah, that spread damage is going to get tougher and tougher to deal with. She also takes a lot of advantages off of slows later in the game. Of course, she has her self-procced slow. And Jimmy did decide to go ace in the hole, despite possibly trying to go more of a burn build on this map, but instead going more towards that team fight focused build, which I do also like. You know, I think both of them definitely viable on this map. Meanwhile, most of those level 1 talents, or quite a few of them, have been finished at this point, or getting close to. Clear 5 away from having the second tier reward. Warbreaker for Garrosh 3 away. Only 9 for 15 for how well Imperius started that. I'm a little surprised that he's still that far away from it.
Yeah, and part of that comes from just being in that soul lane. You're only probably getting 1 stack every cast. Play to the Whale only sitting at 23 stacks. That maybe not getting as much value. Maybe not getting hit by Rainer as much as Fear thought he would be.
Yeah.
But War Traveler is an interesting pickup at 7.
Yeah, you don't see that one very
even know
often.
That talent existed.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back.
Here we go. All right, we'll get on back into the game.
What does War Traveler do here? 8% movement speed every 1 second while employment is active. Oh, so pretty much just wanting to not ever mount, it looks like.
I'll have to tell Turd Herder to include that one on the next game of Turd's Talents over on the Nexus Edge show. I think that's a good one. Never heard of that one before. Never seen it. So we'll see if it gets. See if that extra speed helps out here. We'll see the toss back as Gen Confusion trying to peel August Sun away. They are fighting underneath Noodle Fiasco's actual Actually, I have the wrong overlay on here. My bad, folks. It's up here getting tossed in. Gotta watch out for the stun. Does manage to dodge out of that, but Cassia is going to end up going down.
And I like what Jurgen's doing here. He's throwing orbs at the Immortals. Every time they back up to it, it's just bursting the entire team apart. There's a swap on Lord Zul. But it's Augustin's going to pay for it with his life.
Oh,
Maybe.
or is he?
Maybe.
He's getting very low. He chases a little bit too far after Supreme Meep. Maybe could have turned around and looked more at the survivability element of that. That grenade actually maybe helping Anna a little bit, but does end up going down. And oh my goodness, Raynor getting so low. You're trying to make something happen, but he just can't find the kill to set it up. There's the reset. Basically out of mana at this point, though. As the battle rages on, you talk about Battlefield of Eternity. This one feels like it's lasting for about that long.
Yeah, we talked about Li Ming's ults back during our match, and opting for Wave of Force for this one, I kind of would like to see Disintegrate. But the reason being for that is you hit 2 or 3 heroes with it, and Medic can't keep up with them, similar to how Anna struggles with the spread damage. And Luna and Jimmy, Luna in particular, is very, very squishy.
You're
what a throw.
Getting comboed there. And you mentioned it earlier, the Garrosh throw into the spear there. And that is just a rough combo to have to go against.
And just look how they're set up. They're sitting Lunar and Jimmy bottom. And just hanging out in that bush by their Immortal. And something to take note of is something Ada especially can do. Healing darts through the shadows will reveal people hiding in the vents.
Yeah, so we do see the members of Noodle Fiasco jumping right back onto this Immortal after that. But we do see the blind coming in from Augustin. He's going to rotate in after capping that top camp. And they're going to start this fighting process all over again. Stimpack does come out. And a huge blow up onto Jimmy. Augustin getting the kill, but the resets are in. And now Yurk has full mana. Swap not quite finding Supreme Meep. But they will be able to finish off the Immortal.
Yeah, Lunar got like 2 more hits on that thing and just walked away. All she has to do is hit her W and just before it falls off, and it was enough to tick away. And this is a pretty healthy Immortal that's going to be pushing that top lane.
Yeah, about half a shield bar here. And that's really the best feeling in the world is Lunara. When you see that whole bar is green and you're just walking away. It's not just the Immortal, pretty much anything, especially heroes. You gotta love it.
Oh, yeah.
So we will see the Hyperion coming out here from Jimmy. Pushing in the lane along with this Immortal. Chunking down the fort. It is going to fall. Gen Confusion looking to find somebody, but ends up finding the Sleep Dart instead. Both solo laners down in the bot lane as they approach 13. But it looks like Noodle Fiasco is happy with their prize of getting the top fort down and equalizing the structures. And we'll go ahead and walk away to get their 13 and maybe fight later. Or maybe right now.
This team's coming online for 2Calculated2Throw. We've got Illusionist. I'd like that pickup here against the Garage.
Yeah, a little extra blink range allows you to have. This is basically the standard Ming build that you see from all levels, from the pros all the way down. So definitely like it. It's got good blow up potential, and that extra range really comes in handy. I think it's probably her biggest power spike in this build.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, we do see both teams prioritizing the camps. Looks like the members of Noodle Fiasco a little slower, but they're definitely going to get it in time. Also a little split as Lord Zol able to get that bottom camp as well. And that is going to be where 2Calculated2Throw is going to rotate to clean up here.
Here we go. We're kind of in the lull between Immortals here. Garage rotating down through the shadows again. And 2C is not even aware of it. Oh, they are now. He just got hit. There's the swap from Augustin. All the bursts going down from both sides here. Both of them are going to walk away healthy, but what a throw. Garage pays with his life, but he is able to throw Green Sheep free to safety all the way over his wall, and Hyperion's going to zone 2 calculated back out of the air to save everybody else.
I couldn't remember the name of the talent, but yeah, into the fray. Very, very well played. Kind of a get down, Mr. President kind of moment there. As it saves the Morales, but the burn is real here for 2Calculated2Throw. They're going to burn this down to an easy halftime show, and then look to re-engage in the 4v5. Swap comes out onto Lord Zool, but they are looking at Green Sheep on the backside, and Supreme Meat just ripping them apart here. Anna not quite able to deal with all that damage, falling down onto Artanis. The grenade is going to split them up a little bit, and it looks like both teams are going to walk away, but now we've got the man advantage as we see Garrosh coming back into the picture here for a Noodle Fiasco.
Yeah, Jimmy just getting stim pack and just standing. He's got to pretty much freely stand there and just melt away at the Artanis. Big Valkyrie pulled that right into the stun, and Zul's barely going to get away from that stun. He's very low. Morales is going to go down, so Zul's pretty much going to have to walk away from this fight at this point. The Confusion as well, they're all very low here.
Yeah, Jurg with a little bit of a rough moment there. Orb coming in, could have maybe gotten a couple kills, but actually booped him out of it with that wave of force. I've been there though. We do see the throw in, and Garrosh is going to end up falling. Another reset for Jurg. He's pretty much out of mana, but doesn't really matter. They're going to go ahead and get this Immortal to spawn on their side this time around. And back and forth go the map objectives.
That's where that Astral Presence may have been a better pickup at 1 here, just purely from these team fights. You still kind of end up staying a little low on mana through the fights, but at least you can back off for a second right before a reset might happen, or as a reset happens, and get all your mana back with at least another Disintegrate or Wave of Force.
Yeah, it pretty much gives you constant access to the Qs, but yeah, we do also see the level 16s now picked up for the members of 2Calculated2Throw. Nice power spike for them right as they start to siege, but level 16 will come in soon here for Noodle Fiasco. They just gotta wait just a bit. They do throw out the Hyperion, trying to help clear a little bit and try to zone the members of 2Calculated2Throw. They're going to actually walk through it, though. The taunt comes down, and Fear is going to actually end up falling. Nice into the fray once again, keeping Jimmy safe. And Gen Confusion doing a nice job of using his taunt offensively, using into the fray defensively to keep his team safe. And that's going to allow them to have a nice defense here and keep their, at least keep their keep alive.
So I know you're a leading player. What do you prefer? To see 5 missiles or faster missiles?
5 missiles, 100% of the time. Though I know a lot of people do like Fireflies. It's definitely an option. But yeah, you want. Why are you playing Li Ming in the first place? It's burst damage on a single target, and Mirror Ball really helps you achieve that a lot easier.
Look at this top lane up here. August getting lucky, kept in the camp just in time to kind of walk away from that, but there are all 5 of them rotating. Yeah,
August Sun, pretty lucky there. That throw from Garrosh, almost finding him, but instead ends up on the minion. Could have maybe been trouble for him otherwise, but he does walk away clean. Rotation is coming in here to this camp, but it'll be a little bit late to try and steal away the camp. And for now, Noodle Fiasco will go ahead and back up and mosey on back to their side.
And Imperious here opting for Divine Rage and Southern Armor for the last 2 talents. He's going to be keeping that Molten Armor up the entire time, keeping the armor from it as well. But Morales gets blasted. So does Garage.
Wow, massive swaps. The resets are in, and suddenly Jurg is going crazy here. Another swap in from August Sun. That's what really started it there on the Morales, and a clean 4-0 there for 2Calculated2Throw.
Very nicely done. These team fights have been really back and forth. One team will win one team fight very handily, and then the other one will come back and kind of return the favor. It's been very, very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, now they got camps pushing in both lanes. Only Jimmy left to tell the tale of that massive team fight. He's going to be able to clean up in the bottom lane, but meanwhile the top lane is going to push down this keep for free and the members of 2Calculated2Throw are going to go ahead and elect to get themselves a free map objective. And this is a tough spot for Noodle Fiasco to try and come back into.
Definitely, especially with bottom pressure still going. The Immortal's going to go bottom, and if you're 2Calculated2Throw, you could kind of just go top while it's doing bottom. I've seen a lot of teams do that and end up successfully making it work. Because it is just a lot of split pressure to handle. So they're going to opt to push with the Immortal. I like this call. I mean, I like both calls are a good call here.
Yeah, I think this kind of comes down to the old Dreadnought saying, you know, 5 people to a bad call is better than 3 people to a good one. As long as they're on the same page, I don't think there is a bad call to be had here. And all 5 members really are in the bot to push with this Immortal.
Just don't get picked by the garage, and they'll be alright.
And speaking of the garage,
he's gone.
Yeah, it gets completely blown up there. Huge Valkyrie coming in as well, grouping them in for that AoE damage. The resets are in. The keep is going to fall. Jimmy doing what he can to try and throw out the Hyperion and try and counter siege, but it's just not going to be enough here. The shields are going to start to fall, and this is looking like the end of the series here, Mystic.
It's looking, oh, Yergs is going to die, but I think that's not going to matter at this point. Fear's dropping quickly as well. Luna doing some serious work here, but she's just not going to be able to pump out enough damage at the end here. Unfortunate for Noodle Fiasco, they started that map out very, very strong, and the late game just kind of started swinging the other way. Very good fights from both teams there. Very, very good throws and picks from Garage of some very, very clutched into the fray throws as well. Very impressive game on both sides, and this one just happens to go 2Calculated's way, even scoring that one last kill to beat him out on the kill board.
Yeah, a little too coordinated to defeat here. And definitely some great team fighting potential. You know, like I said before, I feel like Battlefield of Eternity really played into their general strength as a team. And but that time it was a lot of the macro play. You know, every time you saw 2Calculated2Throw get some kind of advantage, whether it was a kill here or a quick rotation there, the camps, they just got a little bit more out of their advantages throughout the game. I think that slowly led to them being ahead in level and getting those little advantages, and I think that's mainly what made the difference for them in this one.
I agree wholeheartedly. Very nice games all around, though. Very entertaining. Both teams are going to have a strong little running here in Div D if they play like this all season.
All right, well, let's go ahead and reach out to the team captain for 2Calculated2Throw, Fear. See if we can get him in for an interview.
Final look at the talents here. Jerg's it didn't matter. He went for Tau Rushes at 20.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hop down into lobby. Maybe want to meet up in lobby, just lobby 1 for the interview?
Works for me.
All right. I'm going to find that team captain list at some point here. There we go. All right, so starting off pretty strong here for 2Calculated first week. What do you think we're going to see from this team throughout the season?
If they play like that, I think they've got a strong chance to showing. This is not being biased. I've played with lots of these guys several times. They have definitely a chance if they stay that coordinated and on top of their rotations to, oh hey Fear, make a good running here. And so does Noodle Fiasco. They put up a great game themselves, and just unfortunate team fights at the end there because they started game 2 out very strong. But hey, anyways, we have Fear here.
Hey,
take it away, Jason.
Yeah, welcome. How you guys feeling after that win?
Pretty good. We were pretty confident having done some scrims with CT last week, so we were kind of feeling the team comp pretty well. But we didn't have August then, so we were hoping everything gelled, but it turned out pretty well for us, so we're happy with that.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Noodle Fiasco definitely gave us a run for our money, though.
Yeah, some really back and forth team fighting throughout the series.
For sure.
Would you say that that's one of your stronger traits as a team?
I think our best trait is not panicking when things go bad. Like, we lost a couple of early team fights, both games, and just kind of backed up and regrouped before we went back in, which is something that I'm not great at in the past. So I'm happy to see the team being like, hey, let's hold on. I'm like, all right, I'll not die again.
Yeah, the tilt factor can be rough, and just in general, getting rattled by that can really lead to a lot of problems. But one thing we saw in both of these matchups was a very high priority on trying to deny Jurg from his mages. You guys come out with Jaina in Game 1 and Li Ming in Game 2. How are you guys feeling about that back and forth?
So we were kind of expecting it. His Kael'thas is like level 115 or something, so I doubt that's ever going to make it through draft.
There you go.
But the Jaina was kind of a nice respect ban, I think, because he did play really well in that first game, and keeping him out of his mages, I think, was probably a big priority for them because he was doing so much damage. But fortunately, he plays mostly just mages, so he had other options.
Last question for me. You know, you guys say that you don't get tilted at all, but did it bother you that they took Garrosh from you Game 2?
We were kind of counting on that, actually. We wanted the
Alright.
Johanna more than anything so that we could get the blinds. I really hoped they didn't pick the Johanna because the blinds were so annoying for me on Raynor Game 1 that I wanted to be able to pick up an auto attacker in Game 2 and not have to worry about him as much, especially with the objective race.
All right, well, that's all I got. Do you got any questions, Mystic?
Play to the whale.
Every time, man.
I'm not
Kept me alive against Lunara 3 times.
Yeah, it worked out for you. It didn't quite stack as early as you liked it, though. But actually, the real question is your level 7 talent. I've never seen that talent.
I want to get away from Garrosh. He killed me like 3 times, so I was like, alright, enough of that. No more, please.
Definitely. It looked like it paid off at times. I did notice it has to be taking no damage, though, so...
It's not taking no damage. You can't stop. If you lose your trait, it resets.
Well, then, yeah, that worked out pretty well for you.
It's a good way to get away from Lunara.
Confused by that pick because we'd never seen that talent.
Yeah.
No, good showing both sides all around. No, I don't really have anything to add. I think it's all been kind of covered at this point.
Cool.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got for questions. So all that's left is to roll out the red carpet and shout-outs for you.
Shout out to Jurgs for, playing safer than he usually does on Mage, which is nice. Sometimes he gets a little overzealous. And shout out to Gald for still healing me through everything. I'm definitely overzealous.
All right, well, thanks very much for coming in. Congratulations on the win, and
Thank you.
we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks for casting, guys.
Happy to do
No
it.
problem. Always a pleasure casting for these guys. They're all so modest. All right, well, that's going to pretty much do it for me tonight, guys. It was a really fun doubleheader, but before we go, Mystic, where can people find you?
They can find me at Mystic Gaming, following my namesake MYST, except the I is a 1. So MYST 1K Gaming on Twitch, as Mystic Gaming 26 on YouTube. I just kind of throw things up there. I'm not fancy about it. Definitely there are Mystic 26 on Twitter, where I post maybe once a week.
There you go. That's about my rate. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more than now that we're streaming and I have something to promote, but that's about it.
Definitely.
But I want to thank you guys all for coming out and watching the nightcap here for NGS late into the night, playing this matchup, especially for an East match. Very interesting timeline for these guys. But you guys check out YouTube. We've been working on the NGS YouTube page. You'll be able to find this match and all the matches that I cast over on my YouTube. But the easiest way to do it now is just going to be go directly to the NGS YouTube website and check out the playlists. They're going to be very neatly organized, very easy to find your matchups once they're uploaded there. And yeah, you guys can check me out on Twitter as well, but just Jason Hots, just like here on Twitch. And until then, for the Nexus Gaming Series, I'm Jason, he's Mystic, and we'll see you guys next time.